This is the Rebel Call channel. Welcome to today's show. I shouldn't have to tell anybody that if you see one of these schools in your town, you should run as far away as possible. And these schools I'm referring to are the Jeff Bezos / Amazon run schools that are popping up. You see how this whole thing works with the American corporation? You think that people like Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos care about people? Have they shown that they care about people? Or are they showing that they want control of people? Specifically now, they're targeting the youth. This is not something that people should look at and say, this is great that Jeff Bezos is opening up a school. But of course, they'll market this to you and tell you that it's a great thing that these people care so much about children. But what they're trying to do is go after your children at a young age. And I'm referencing many different things go after your children at a young age. But specifically, they're going to open up these institutions for 3 to 5-year-olds so they can indoctrinate them with technology. They're going to tell you that it's advanced, it's better than the current school system, which again is done by design. You probably have noticed how they're bashing schools and making people fearful of sending their children to school, and that's done by design. Not that it's a good thing that kids go to school, because we all know we're all products of the school system. The majority of the stuff you learn in school is completely useless in the real world, unless, of course, you go to trade school and you learn how to actually do something. It's an indoctrination schooling system, right? It's nothing more than an indoctrination camp. You go there, you learn about lies, you get a false perception of what the world really is, and they send you off to fail miserably unless you could figure out on your own what's really going on. But here what they want to do is they want to take on one hand, they want people to be fearful of sending their kids to the institution because of the curriculum that we now hear about, the insane curriculum they're trying to promote. But what they want to do is have AI infrastructure in schools as well. So Bezos is rolling these schools out. I'm going to show you a clip. Keep in mind what the school system is used for as well, because I'm sure everybody out there is thinking the same thing I am when you hear about Jeff Bezos. All one has to do is look at a picture of Jeff Bezos, and you could use your eyes to use, the eyes are the windows of the soul, they say, right? Well, use your eyes, use discernment, and look at Jeff Bezos. And you tell me, if you look right into that guy's eyes, right into that reptilian's eyes, if you actually could trust this guy with children. But of course, they'll say, well, Jeff Bezos is just opening the schools. He's not going to be there. But we all immediately think of places like McMartin or the Oak Hill case. These are things I've discussed on my website. This is how I woke up really to the deception that was going on. I knew something was terribly wrong with the world that we lived in. And once I went down the rabbit hole of how these preschools were being used as fronts, and then we saw the underground tunnels of what was really going on underneath these schools and where they were being led out to, which were airports out in California. Oak Hill, the same situation. Of course, you catch glimpses of these people who run the schools, and then you find out their affiliation to covens and cults. It all just starts unwinding when you start paying attention to it closely. Again, we saw even Oprah Winfrey with her academy. These people pretend they open up academies for children. And then, of course, what ends up happening is there's lots of mysterious things happening to the children at these schools. But Bezos is doing this for more than just that. Take a look at the story. And again, if this pops up in your town, everybody out there should know better. Run.
Everywhere you look, it feels just like a regular preschool. But there's something very different about this place.
So we are tuition free, and so a family that makes over or under $120,000 per year could qualify to attend here.
So when they said tuition free, me and my husband were like, hey, that's it, we will take it. We will take the tuition free. I think that is awesome.
It's called Bezos Academy, as in Jeff Bezos, founder of Amazon and one of the richest men in the world.
He credits having a Montessori preschool education as really setting him and his family up for success. And when he was determining, what avenues he wanted to use to spend his money, this was right at the top of his list.
Bezos announced 10 tuition-free preschools in Texas, 19 nationwide. This one is on the campus of Presbyterian Village North, a senior living community in North Dallas.
We know that about 50% of 3 to 5-year-old kids in the U.S. are not enrolled in preschool. And a big reason for that is accessibility and affordability. So there is nothing near me, and things that are near me, I cannot afford to participate in. And that's really what we're trying to solve for.
It is a lottery to get in, but your chances are much better than Powerball, and parents pay nothing. It's for children 3 to 5 years old. Classes are 5 days a week, and applications are only open until Monday, May 13th. In Dallas, I'm Jason White.
So the Bezos Academies are popping up, and most people out there hear that and they're like, Jeff Bezos is wonderful, that's really great. But what they're trying to do, if you understand communism and the American corporation that we're living under, is that the corporations are going to be running the schools. They're going to be running it's going to be one big brand, right? Of course, they'll give the illusion probably here in America that it's multiple brands, Amazon, Apple, Neuralink / SpaceX / whatever Elon Musk, Tesla, that branch of it, the conservative side. But ultimately, when you look at this stuff, you have to start seeing the corporation's involvement in everything. And nobody's suspicious about Amazon. It's literally Amazon opening up preschools for children, these preschools which are going to indoctrinate kids immediately with artificial intelligence. So Jeff Bezos, the founder of online shopping and media giant Amazon, is opening more of his free preschools in Texas. The school will be inside a building at Northeast Lakeview College on the northeast side of San Antonio, is now accepting students for the 2024-2025 school year. And again, in an American corporation, if you don't understand how it works, it's all of these people that we watch, right? We watch all these brands, these woke companies, Amazon, Target, all the ones that we've heard about, Bud Light, right? Who are pushing all this stuff on everybody. Eventually, they have their hand in everything, right? I've talked about Amazon. Amazon isn't just shopping online. Amazon has just opened up Amazon One, their medical system where they're trying to send people prescription drugs with drone deliveries. Amazon is delivering everything to your front door on top of Amazon, wanting full surveillance inside of your home with the Ring, with the Echo, with all these Alexa, all these devices. This is all done by design, right? Now you see Amazon trying to get in with your children. It's going to spread to everything. And people out there don't understand how it works. They just think, well, Jeff Bezos is being a nice guy. He's trying to open preschools up for young children out there, right? No, not at all. And they're going to indoctrinate your children with the same communist woke ideologies that they're doing in the mainstream. And people out there should know better. They should see this and understand we're giving way too much power to these corporations. How in the world is a corporation running like Amazon getting involved with running a preschool? Why is the big question. Why? Well, the answer is very simple. To indoctrinate and to bring about the artificial intelligence governance. These children are going to know nothing more than to being dependent on AI. So it's going to start with them in a classroom. People are going to go, wow, this isn't some poor underprivileged school, right? That's how they market this. They say, oh, Bezos cares about the underprivileged, right? He cares about blacks. He cares about Hispanics. It's amazing to me that blacks and Hispanics, some of them out there fall for this stuff and they don't see how they target them. These wicked people target them. Yeah, these are the wicked white racist people you should be concerned with, right? Not your next door neighbor, not these people who pretend and project that they care about you. Then they go, we're going to open up a school for minority children, and then we're going to give them better technology than they would get at a public school. And they go, well, that's so great that he cares so much. And they don't have a clue about indoctrination. So then those kids get indoctrinated with the tech. They get dependent on the tech, and then they start marketing things like the Neuralink to these young children and say, well, they in a regular world, they wouldn't be able to afford it. But Jeff Bezos cares so much that he's going to give the Neuralink to 10-year-olds. And they're going to go, oh, well, it's not the Neuralink. It's got a different name. It's Amazon Link. And they're going to go, this is wonderful and this is great. Now my kid could be just as, could have the same abilities as everybody else. And they're not underprivileged and poverty doesn't. And then they just fall for this stuff, hook, line, and sinker, right? This is why they want in the schools. They're coming after your children. They do not give a crap about your skin color. They don't give a crap about your kids. These are wicked people. These are literally psychopaths who have more power than we could possibly imagine. And they certainly have more influence. And it's not about money. It's about control. So the Bezos Academy is a tuition-free preschool from the Amazon founder that offers year-round, all-day programming 5 days a week. That's verbatim what it says in the article, right? All-day programming. And guess what? Guess who's being programmed? The people in these schools, the children in these schools. The school provides the necessary educational supplies as well as breakfast, lunch, and dinner, according to Leader. The preschool is fully funded by Bezos. Children under the age of 3 and 4 can attend the Bezos Academy. So get them young. Get them young because, in these secret societies and the covens, they target the children this young as 6 months old. and they start putting them through trauma-based mind control. Now, people go, they're not doing that. This is school out in the open, not going to do trauma. Well, there's forms of trauma-based mind control that are actually being normalized with technology. Just people think it's fun and it's exciting, and it's really trauma-based. And a lot of it's actually going on in the real world right now. You're living it if you turn on the news. So families can earn up to 400% of the federal poverty level, which is about $125,000 per year for a family of 4, according to information sent by the Bezos Academy. The preschool accepts English language learners as well. Parents or guardians must submit an application for each child that they want to attend the preschool. However, if one child is accepted into the preschool and an application was submitted for the siblings, then that sibling is also accepted if seats are available. Isn't that so nice of Jeff? And then, of course, they put the child into a lottery because, I mean, they literally look at us anyway as, mice running around a maze. Might as well be lottery balls. They put the child in a lottery, and then Jeff decides, they pick it at random, wink, wink. They really just pick minority children because, again, these are your wicked white racist people. If you want to actually believe that that's real, that there are, though there are. These are the people. And they're not just racist against black people, they're racist against whites as well. They look at all of us as slaves. That's what we all need to understand. We all need to look at each other and look past the things that they're trying to create, the mechanisms of race and division that they're creating. Because these people who run these corporations look at all of us as cattle. And they're manipulating all of us like we are cattle. And people are falling for it hook, line, and sinker while these people are smiling ear to ear going, I'm Jeff Bezos. I care about the world. I'm opening up preschools. And then Bill Gates goes, I'm going to third world countries to try to get everybody, magic potions inside their body so that they don't get malaria. And everyone's going, wow, what great people. These are the psychopaths who are killing off, committing mass genocide. And on top of that, are targeting your children's minds. Targeting your children's minds is what they're doing. And then we can look from the other aspect of what happens to a lot of these children in these preschools over the years, right? A lot of these preschools that can't be trusted, Oprah's preschool, like I mentioned earlier. I mean, you could guarantee that stuff like that's happening. It's called GROOMING. And these are institutions that they're going to be doing it in, right out in the open, not to mention the woke curriculum. So for people out there that look and they go, oh, that's no big deal. But then they look at the way that these corporations behave. They talk about controlling your behavior. They talk about how they want you to accept this. Every single corporation has all the pride stuff, all these things, right? And nobody realizes that this is the United States corporation, that this is global communism, and that these businesses are the ones behind it. These businesses are running everything. Right? So you look at it and you go, well, I'll just boycott the store. Then all of a sudden you realize that your preschool in your town is run by Amazon or run by Target or run by Walmart. And you start looking at the ideologies and you start realizing, wow, and everything inside those schools is going to be, woke doctrine, or on top of all that, is going to groom the child with technology to be dependent on technology and be obsessed with technology and know nothing outside of technology, and then tell you it's all about equality. Bezos is doing it because poor underprivileged children out there, they don't have the ability to do this. So the poor black children and Hispanic children, Jeff Bezos will help, right? I mean, it's amazing to me. It's amazing how these Democrats of color or of Hispanic, whatever, how they listen to these people, bait them, and these people are mocking them right to their faces. Anybody heard Kathy Hochul? Kathy Hochul, the governor of New York, not elected, selected, talking about black people as if they're like, I don't even know what the word I could possibly use to describe them that I'd be able to say. Talking about them like they're not human, like black children and black people don't know what computers are. This is how they talk to, listen to this clip. This is how they speak to the people that they supposedly represent. They talk to them like they're animals. I mean, literally, listen to this.
Right now we have, young black kids growing up in the Bronx who don't even know what the word computer is. They don't know. They don't know these things. And I want the world open up to all of them, because when you have their diverse voices innovating solutions through technology, then you're really addressing society's broader challenges. Young black kids growing up in the Bronx who don't even know what the word computer is. They don't know. They don't know these things.
Right, and that's not considered racist, talking about, I'm talking about black people like they don't know what a computer is in 2024 and don't have the ability to learn how to use. They're like looking at it like it's something out of a time machine. Like they live in I mean, it's ridiculous. And then the black people go and they go, I support these people. They care about me. They're working you. It's so easy to see, right? I mean, it's incredible how they could talk down to all these people, but all they have to do is smile and say that they love and care about them, and everybody else out there is making them into a third world species, and everybody else out there is racist, etc. When they're the ones who are. And it's very, very clear that they're targeting them. They're targeting, and I've talked openly on the website and here on YouTube in the past about if you're awake and you're of color, like you're a very special person because you're not buying into the manipulation. You're out of the mind control and you're not letting them bait your emotions to make you feel victimized because it's a trap. It's deceitful trap created by their father, the devil. So back to the story about the curriculum that Bezos will offer. It's child-centered, culturally responsive. These are words people hear. They don't even know what it means. Culturally responsive. Oh, that sounds real intellectual. Standard-based, that includes areas in social, emotional learning, language skills, math, practical skills, sensory development, which is AI, art, music, and movement. Okay? And then they're just going to indoctrinate the kids with those things, right? But they say, oh, it's culturally wonderful, right? At the same time, these people are all in bed with each other. All the Democrat and the conservatives are as well, but they just play a different role. They pretend to be opposed to all this stuff. When they're on board, it's just going to have a different, if you think that, we look at it as an American corporation, you can't think for 1 second that Donald Trump isn't a corporation in himself. Of course he is. It's just going to be marketed differently. Instead of smart cities, freedom cities. Instead of, Jeff Bezos's smart academies, whatever they label and name these things, right? The Bezos Academy, it'll be the Trump Academy. And they'll go, oh yeah, and they won't have that woke crap in there. I'll send my kid. And then little by little, it's more technology, all the technology. They start pushing the virtual stuff. And the next thing you know, these are kids who are getting the Neuralink at 12 years old and becoming transhuman. So this is what they're doing, right? Not to mention the other stuff we all know, the undertones to Bezos having a school. Just look at Bezos. Take a look at Jeff Bezos' face and tell me that you would trust your children around Jeff Bezos. I mean, if you do, you have zero discernment. Anybody can look at people like Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos, and you know that they're doing unimaginable acts behind closed doors. I thank everybody for being here. Keep your kids as far away as possible, not just from the Bezos Academy, from any state-run institution, okay? That's the real lesson to be learned. And they want to make sure that you have to put your kids in, which is why they've made it so important for both parents to work. They tell women that it's about their rights to make them work, but it's not. It's about getting the child out of the home and into the institution so it could be raised by the institution, which is just, this is just basic 101, what they've been doing for the last 50 years with the schooling system. So get your kids as far away from all of it as possible. I thank you for being here. Hope you're all doing well. God bless you as always and your families.